Alright, welcome back, guys. Now, before you start yelling at me and saying Niz lied, I didn't lie. I did not lie. I guess the format or whatever has changed with the tournament because up until about, I don't know, 15 minutes before the cast, it was scheduled that we were going to have paiN versus Leviathan, Unknown versus paiN, and then Leviathan versus Unknown. And of course, Unknown, they disbanded last night, according to Reddit. And I actually messaged the Dota 2 Canada Cup and I asked them if we were still going to be having the games tomorrow with Unknown disbanding, and they said yes. They still have 3 players on their roster, which means they can have the 2 stand-ins, and they'd be fine. But I don't know if maybe it's because Unknown can't play or whatever. But apparently now we're going to have paiN and Leviathan are both going to be advancing to the next round. And instead we're going to be playing a best of 3. And the best of 3 is going to determine the seeding. So who's going to be first and who's going to be second as we move into the playoffs. So we're going to have a best of 3. Now,
DotA team ban.
I don't know when this was decided on, but unfortunately my overlay is going to be a bit wrong. But yeah. All right, so this cast has been a little bit different, but yeah. So we're gonna have a best of 3 between paiN and Leviathan, and this is gonna be game 2. We had paiN Gaming take game 1 in a pretty dominant fashion.
Radiant team
and we're gonna look and see if they're gonna be able to continue that and well, take the series. But welcome everyone to the channel. I'm Niz, and hopefully you are going to stick with us and enjoy the games. Unfortunately, wasn't able to hop into the replay and find out exactly how paiN knew about that wraparound gank coming out from Team Leviathan. But
10 seconds
yeah, the
remaining.
replay just wasn't up yet. So I'll have to go and check that out
5 seconds
when I
remaining.
can a little bit later on. Maybe after this game. But I'm eager to find out exactly how they knew about that. But they must have seen Leviathan smoke, whether they saw it through fog, which of course you unfortunately can see smoke through fog in Source 2, one of the issues that needs to be fixed. But yeah, whether they saw it through smoke or whether Leviathan stepped over something, maybe one of their heroes just revealed it. I don't know. We'll look and see in the replay when we can.
10 seconds remaining.
But that was a previous game. Now we're in the current game, so let's get caught up in game 2 here between paiN Gaming and Leviathan, as we've got Slaughter, Doom, Shadow Fiend, and Ember Spirit banned out by paiN Gaming. The bans for Team Leviathan were Darkseer, Alchemist, Wind Ranger, and Templar Assassin. So actually banning out 3 of the heroes that they used last game: the Darkseer, the Wind Ranger, and the TA. As for the picks, we've got paiN Gaming with Tusk, Winter Wyvern, Queen of Pain, and Juggernaut. And for Leviathan, we're going to have Gyrocopter, Bane, and Skywrath Mage. So we saw Gyro and Bane paired up together last game on the other side with paiN Gaming playing
10 seconds remaining.
And we're going to see a new hero on the block that I haven't seen for quite some time. We've seen it played a little bit here or there in the current patch, but I can't remember the last time I actually casted Skywrath Mage. But he's going to get picked up by Team Leviathan, and now they're going to pick up a Tiny as well. So a lot of burst damage coming out from Leviathan here. The Skywrath, his ult does a ton of damage. Tiny, of course, his combo does a ton of damage. And Skywrath Mage, if he's able to get a silence up on a target,
10 seconds
and Tiny unloads on them with his combo, that's a lot of damage, because the silence also amplifies the, what's it called, Ancient Seal, I believe? Yeah, increases magic damage done by 30, 35, 40, 45%, as well as silencing for 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds. But yeah, if he gets an Ancient Seal up on a target and then Tiny combos, and Skywrath drops his ult, that's a lot of damage. There's even great synergy between the Ancient Seal and Gyrocopter using his Rocket Barrage. That's a lot of damage as well. And I don't believe it increases the damage coming out from Bane's brain sap, because that is pure damage, and I don't think that applies to increased magic damage. That's actually one of the other things I'm not 100% sure. There's a lot of little mechanics, I guess, like that in Dota 2.
Radiant team ban.
Sometimes you just don't know. You just got to go and look them up on the wiki. A lot of them are unfortunately not too intuitive. But one of the things I'll have to look at after the cast is continually trying to get better and better at both playing and casting.
5 seconds remaining.
Night Stalker, the final ban for paiN Gaming. As Team Leviathan, they're going to look into their final ban as well. As paiN already has what we assume is going to be their 2 supports with the Tusk and the Winter Wyvern. They've got the Queen of paiN mid, Juggernaut safe lane, so it's probably going to be an offlaner for them. Brood is going to get removed. As, not the hero that's the best for Team Leviathan to deal with. Gyrocopter on paper seems strong against Brood, but he's alright. He's alright. Flak is great against all the Spiderlings, but Flak also has a cooldown. And in terms of the laning phase, Gyro actually doesn't do that great against the Broodmother. So they're going to remove that. Beyond that, Tiny does pretty terribly against Brood early on. Unless he's able to actually jump on. If he gets his Blink Dagger and is able to jump on the Brood and combo her when she doesn't have spiders, then he's great. But that's a pretty big what-if scenario. And if there's Spiderlings there, he's not very good at clearing them. And it makes it difficult to get a good combo off on the Brood anyways with those spiders there. And beyond that, the Bane and the Skywrath are both terrible at dealing with Brood. So good ban coming out from Leviathan. As for paiN, they're going to pick up the Clockwork. So a good, strong offlaner. Skywrath is quite good against Clockwork, though. So they have that to be a little wary of. And baiN also pretty good at zoning out a Clockwork, as Clock can't really rely on his cogs to safely get him out of a bad situation, as baiN can just nightmare him as soon as the cogs go down. There is the issue of baiN potentially getting pushed by the cogs, not able to get the nightmare off. So Clock has that
10 seconds remaining.
Going for him. But beyond that, it's could be a little difficult for the Clockwork, but dire side Clockwork, he's going to be able to cogs trap the creeps. You can do that on Radiant side as well, but I find it a little bit more effective on the dire side. So he should be able to get an ample amount of XP, and by extension a little bit of gold as well, as that creep wave moves closer and closer towards his tower, and he's able to last hit under his tier 1. Leviathan, looking for almost like an offlaner of their own. Who is it going to be? I think Clockwork would have been a great choice for them, but that's removed. They have the Sky is quite good against Clockwork, but it's also quite good with the Clockwork. Clockwork's able to hookshot in and trap someone in the cogs, and Sky drops the ult, as that hero is not able to escape. That's a really good synergy. Clock also lanes quite well against the Juggernaut. And oh boy, it's going to be a Pudge. It's a Jenkins offlane Pudge. He's great at this hero, and I'm excited. I am excited to see some Pudge. Oh, this is going to be good. Pudge also pairs well with the Bane. Actually, Pudge pairs quite well with almost everything here on the side of Leviathan. You can get an easy hook if someone gets hit by a rocket from the Gyrocopter. The Bane sleep sets up, hooks well. Skywrath, his slow, hooks up, sets up a hook. And also, once the Dismember comes out, Sky can drop the ult on the target as they're being eaten by Pudge.
10 seconds remaining.
Pudge and Tiny. There is some synergy there with Tiny tossing the Pudge in. They can toss the Pudge and then Dismember. So there's a lot of really good synergy here on the Radiant side. I'm interested to see what they're going to do. Is we're actually going to have a TP to the mid lane this time from Pico on the Tusk, because he's going to go and place an Observer Ward on the just outside the Radiant Ancients. But let's introduce the players. As on the Radiant side, we're going to have Team Leviathan once again, as we've got Jenkins asking, is your name pronounced Cat? Yeah. It better be. That's what I keep calling him. I have 2 of you as a pet. Horrible things. Oh my goodness, Jenkins. All right, well, we've got Flying Zebra. He's going to be playing the Skywrath Mage. Shibby's going to be playing the Tiny. We got Nusham on the Gyrocopter. Ja is going to be playing the Bane. And Jenkins is going to be on that big Pudge. So he's going to get an Observer Ward down in the lane. A little bit unorthodox for how you normally play off lane, but Jenkins certainly knows what he's doing. I'm not sure if 4DR saw him there. But let's move on to the Dire side. And so we've got Cat playing the Winter Wyvern. Pepita is going to be playing the Queen of paiN. Pico is going to be playing the Tusk. 4DR is going to be playing the Juggernaut. And Tavo is going to be playing the Clockwork. Neither team fighting over the runes here. Shibby's going to get the bottom one, and Pepita is going to get the top one. So we're going to have the Tiny going up against the Queen of paiN in the mid lane. Looks like Tusk going to be doing the blocking, and we've got 2 heroes actually blocking out in the mid lane for Leviathan, as Jaws probably going to stay. No, he's not. He's actually going to smoke up with Jenkins immediately off the start, and look at this. They're going to smoke, and we've got a pause, as unfortunately Winter Wyvern DCs, and this is unfortunately not going to be good for Leviathan, as they've just smoked up and they're going to run right through this Observer Ward. So they've smoked at a good distance, and they should be fine to move through that, but unfortunately we've got the pause, and well, unfortunately I don't want to say any stream sniping is potentially happening, but sometimes that does happen, and ganks like this don't always pan out. But hopefully they will, as it's going to get drawn on the map. Jenkins saying what they're going to be doing. And interesting little circle on the map coming out from Pico on the Tusk. Drawing down here. So he's circling down here about them potentially. Oh, you know what it is? It's maybe... Well, actually they wouldn't have vision yet. Because Dire wouldn't have had vision of the Pudge yet. Because if they maybe had vision of the top lane, they didn't see the Pudge, then they'd be a little bit wary of Pudge being down here. Because you can pull this these neutral creeps down to the bottom lane. So that's probably what he's drawing about. Because you used to be able to do it with Rubik, and I think you still can do it with Rubik. But you can Pudge hook them, and the neutral creeps will walk down, and they'll walk all the way down here to come back to their camp. And as they walk by, then they'll whatchamacallit? Jenkins. But yeah, then they'll walk by the creep wave as the creep's coming down through the lane, and they'll effectively pull the bottom lane to this camp up here. So that's probably what he's drawing. Everyone continues to be squiggling all over the map. Professional players, boys. Yep, pretty much. He's restarting his PC. What? Well, it looks like we're going to have about a 2-minute break. I hate pauses, guys. Absolutely hate pauses. know what, guys? I'm gonna quickly throw it to music, and I'm actually gonna run and go get a drink because I've finished mine. So I'll be right back in just a minute, guys. Alright, we're back. Or at least I'm back. The game's still paused. But yeah, played a little bit of Approaching Nirvana there for you guys. But I got my drink, and I'm ready to go at least. And it looks like the player's back on TeamSpeak, so we should be set to go soon. So I saw a mod complaining saying, "Can you guys stop?" And the thing is what he's referring to is the constant pinging on all the towers. It is quite annoying. It was happening last night in the game. I was casting. As a caster, you constantly hear it. Here we go. We're ready to go. All right, unpausing. All right, we're in the action. We got the smoke ink coming out from Leviathan as the Pudge and the paiN going to wrap around. And yeah, now they're going to back away, play it safe. There's the Pudge not showing in the top lane. Pete definitely knows something's up here. We'll get into that in just a second. We're going to have the Nightmare. We're going to have the Avalanche. We're going to have Jenkins right-clicking him down with the Rot. He's going to toss him up in the air. Pepita's already shown. Oh, take it. He's going to have a deny there coming out from Ja. I thought they were going to let the tower kill him. But, yeah, good deny there. But Pepita had already shown that he had the Shadow Strike, so they knew that Blink wasn't possible. So Jenkins picking up the Rot there. But let's go back to how Pepita knew that gank was coming. So oh, unfortunately, Cat DC'd again. Oh no. So I mentioned that the smoke happened here, so they weren't in vision of this observer ward. Then they walked right past the observer ward. And then they wrapped around, and well, they were like right here, and we had the pause. So then I said, okay, well, hopefully there's not any stream sniping, and they wrapped around, and then paiN ends up backing up. And paiN backing up wasn't a result of stream sniping, so we'll just clarify that right now. It was a result of this observer ward that, remember, paiN put down fairly early on in the game. We had Jenkins rush down and place this observer ward, but paiN then came in and placed this observer ward. And what this observer ward does is shows Jenkins' positioning in the top lane. The creeps had passed the top lane, and they'd been clashing up here. And if Jenkins isn't up there, you haven't seen him walk past. Oh, I can't draw because I'm in a Dota TV. But you haven't seen him walk past and try to soak XP in some way by hiding somewhere, then you know he's not there, and there's potential pressure on the mid lane or even the bottom lane. So they figured it was going to be the top lane. As soon as they realized that Jenkins wasn't up there, paiN, that's when he backed. He didn't back like right after the pause or as soon as he realized they'd be coming around. He backed as soon as this observer ward did, well, what it's meant to do. So
Got it.
that observer ward, pretty damn important, and I think it's worth pointing out exactly how valuable that observer ward is and why they placed it. Jenkins getting slowed down by Cat. He's going to get caught by the ice shards, and no, he's not. Pico just slightly off the mark, and then Jenkins goes for the hook. Unfortunately, misses on 40R there. I think he might have actually been hooking a little bit early. I think 40R probably would have got the kill on him, but 40R probably would have died to the tower before getting out of its range had that happened. So Jenkins going for the trade there, and unfortunately just missing the hook. I haven't gone over the lanes just yet, but Ja going to be harassing in the mid lane. But we do have the Tiny going up against the Queen of paiN in the mid lane. The bottom lane is going to be the Clockwork off lane going up against the Skywrath Mage and the Gyrocopter. And in the top lane, it's going to be the Winter Wyvern and the Tusk, which are both probably going to be moving around quite a bit. But the Juggernaut is up here as well, and he's going to be going up against the Pudge. So yeah, Pico rotating towards the mid, trying to stop Ja from doing all this harassing in the mid lane. Instead, they're going to go on him. They're just going to go for a kill. They do have Brain Sap available, but not able to get it off. He's just going to go down as paiN Gaming may get the first kill of the game, and it's going to go to the Queen of paiN. Both mid laners got a kill each.
Denied.
And everything actually pretty even so far. As mid lane, we've got 1 CS advantage for the Queen of paiN. Of course, the Queen of paiN does have a death, and Tiny doesn't, but both heroes have 1 kill apiece. So mid lane, relatively even. In terms of the 2 safe laners, we got 23 and 10 CS on the Gyrocopter, 20 and 6 on the Jug. So very slight advantage for the Gyro as we're going to see a snowball forward, and that's actually going to allow Pico to pick up the bounty rune over top of Chibi. Ice Shard's going to trap the Tiny in place, and this is going to be another kill for paiN. As Cat's going to get that one. But in terms of our safe laners, we have a very slight advantage for the Gyrocopter. This Chug continues to chase down Jenkins here. And now he's gone for the kill. He's on top of Jenkins. He's spinning through, but he has to accept the fact that there is a TP coming in from Ja, and a huge hook coming up from Jenkins. And then he denies himself as Pico comes snowballing in. And then a Nightmare. Going to lock down Pico in place for a little bit. But that's just going to allow the tower to get a couple attacks off. And Pico's still going to be able to walk away. But great hook from Jenkins there to catch 40R. It looked like that was going to be a kill for 40R. Pretty easy, but Ja was there with the TP, and that meant 40R had to play it a little bit safer. And then Jenkins just perfectly placed hook there to bring 40R back in. So now Gyrocopter had a slight advantage over that Jug. Certainly it's increased a little bit there with the Jug dying, and we see the difference in CS already. That Jug just not being there to last hit a couple creep waves. As for our 2 offlaners, we've got Clockwork sitting at 13 CS, whereas Pudge sitting at only at 6. But Pudge has been, he does have 2 deaths. Both of them are denies. But he's been a part of 2 kills, whereas the Clock well, hasn't really had an impact just yet in terms of getting hero kills. But yeah, that's kind of where you expect those two offlaners to be. So overall, this game, pretty even so far. I'd give a slight advantage to Leviathan, but very, very slight. As now that mid lane's kind of calmed down, we're seeing a CS difference between the Queen of paiN and the Tiny, about 10 CS in favor of the Queen. And she's going to pick up a DD as well, that'll help. Top is going to be a Bounty Rune, which the Tiny will come up there and pick up. There's 4DR. Needs to be a little careful with Jaw sitting off to the side. Ice shards in the mid. Didn't trap Shibby, but they went for the snowball anyways. And Shibby's just going to toss Pico back. And even a rocket flare going to be flying in. Is this going to be enough to tick down Shibby? As he's dropping down to...
Dire's top tower is under attack.
He's going to be down to about 51 HP. And he'll go back to the fountain and probably TP back into the mid lane. Jenkins. Just, he used hook to hook that creep in so that he could pull the creep wave. He definitely knows what he's doing as this Pudge offlane. He's played it many a times and he's quite good at it, so. The courier sitting here. It's waiting to buy Sage's Mask, I believe, to complete the Ring of Aquila for
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And there we go. It's bought that, and it's going to be flying to him. Jenkins making a rotation towards mid. Another really well-placed Observer Ward coming out from paiN. And actually has 3 heroes in the bottom. Their mid laner, Pepita's made a rotation down here. There's Nusham. Oh, they're going to snowball on. Flying Zebra's in the trees. We're going to have a TP from Jenkins in the trees as well. But I don't think it's going to come out in time to save Nusham. He gets a hook off, and it's going to kill the Clockwork. But the Gyro has already gone down. The Queen of paiN has also gone down. And Pico now trying to run. They've got the rot from the Pudge slowing him down. And that's one more right click from the Pudge. And that's going to be a dead Tusk. So yes, paiN comes down. 3-man gank on the Gyrocopter. They get the Gyro, but it costs them all 3 of those kills of those heroes. Yeah, and that was definitely, once again, really good response from Leviathan, protecting some of their heroes.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They're really holding on to, or using their TPs early on in this game. We saw Jaw TP to the top to stop 4DR from diving on Jenkins, and then we just saw some TP response come in there from Jenkins to help out in the bottom lane. Yeah, they weren't able to keep Nusham alive, but they almost did. As that hook from Jenkins, he was actually, with that hook, I believe he was probably going for Nusham, because he hooked right as Nusham died. And had he grabbed Nusham and brought him back to safety here, they would have ended up getting those 3 kills, and Nusham would have lived. But fortunately, Nusham died first, and that hook then killed the Clockwork. As Nusham, oh no, he's in trouble. Omni Slash, Ice Shards, and Spin. Gonna finish him off, but here comes more heroes from the side of Leviathan. Hook misses. Tavo loses a lot of HP. He will.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And Mystic Flare does so much damage. Jaw's actually up here smoked up. Smoke will be popped, and now Jaw's in a little bit of a bad position. He's going to get trapped by some Ice Shards. The look for the hook from the Pudge, but there's a lot of enemy heroes in the way, so he wasn't going to be able to do it. He'll go for the hook anyways. It was a little bit of a Hail Mary hook. There was no vision on those heroes. It was kind of close to landing on Tavo. Just slightly off the mark. So far, the game's still Still pretty even, but very action-packed. We got 5 kills apiece. We take a look at our net worth, and they're pretty good distribution there. The gyrocopter actually falling behind slightly of that Juggernaut. Part of that, I think, was, well, he died in that bottom lane fight, and then immediately he went up top, and he died shortly after as well up there. So that gave the Jug a little bit more room, and that allowed him to not only catch up, but a little bit past the gyrocopters. We're going to see another smoke coming out from Leviathan. As if you've ever seen Dendy play Pudge, or certainly if you've ever seen Leviathan play Pudge with his Jenkins, you know that smokes are very, very important on that hero early on. And they're going to find a target there as they drop Tavo.
Radiant's middle
they don't
tower
get the kill on 4DR, which I believe they would have preferred, but they'll still take a kill. It's a successful smoke gank. Well, we've got a smoke gank of paiNs here as they're going to move towards the bottom. But it's just a paiN down here. They're still going to go for it. They'll still take the kill. paiN's going to go down, and now TP support comes in. Shibby and Nushan
is under attack.
Unfortunately, they're not going to get the opening. Hook from Jenkins in the top lane is going to bring 40R back. There's the Dismember, but 40R did get the spin-off, which means they can't really do much damage to him. Mystic Flare not available, not enough mana. And now Jenkins misses the hook on 40R, and he's going to get trapped in cogs. But it looks like Flying Zebra, oh no! He's not able to finish him off. 40R drops the healing ward, gives him just enough HP to survive that right click coming in from Flying Zebra. And Leviathan loses 2 heroes there in the top lane, as this time paiN is there with the response from their heroes. And all that action from the Juggernaut in the top lane with the Gyrocopter farming in the bottom has let the Gyro leapfrog the Jug now. So the farm just going back and forth between all the heroes here on the Dire side here now. We're going to have TP in from Jenkins. Spin getting off once again from 40R before Jenkins able to get that Dismember off. Oh, they'll get the kill onto Pico, but the hook is also going to land on 40R. It's going to be a double kill for Leviathan.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They did send all 5 heroes up here, but this game is getting real scrappy. As we're 15 kills in 13 minutes, a little bit of a faster pace than the game that we just saw, as we are going to see another kill. Shibby uses that blink dagger, he just blinks right on top of Pepita and just blows him up. Yeah, he did have a little bit of help from the double damage rune, allowing his right click to do a little bit more. As that's a lot of damage early on, hitting for 407 damage a swing, 13 minutes in.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Got a couple heroes here from Leviathan just above mid. Jenkins gonna go for the hook, not gonna land.
Attack. Dire's top tower
now,
is under attack.
Shibby's ended up behind the tower, and he's gonna get hook shotted in on from Tavo, and now Shibby's in a bad situation. He's actually gonna use the cogs to push him up onto the high ground. But Pico, Snowball actually carries him up there. And we're going to lose the Tiny.
Invisibility.
So let's see how this game is panning out. And yeah, it's just as close as we expect. Slight advantage for Leviathan, but they just lose their Tiny, so that's probably going to come down a little bit. But 1,500 gold lead for Leviathan as we see it. XP is about 1,000 in favor of Leviathan, but this game has been back and forth, and it is still very, very close, and certainly anyone's game. We've seen Pudge is certainly going to have a much bigger impact very early on in the game, and Clock is going to take a little bit to get going, but we've basically reached that moment where the Clock is going to start having a big impact on this game.
Rock it on!
So, we've got a gathering of heroes here from Leviathan. They have skidded out. Flare's going to fly in. It's not going to spot any heroes here, but they've already seen the rotation through here thanks to this Observer ward placed a little bit earlier from paiN.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And Leviathan's gathered up down here, and no one from the side of paiN is going to show at all. Instead, they're going to pressure the other lanes and force Leviathan to not fully commit to the bottom tier 1 and have to spread some of their heroes out. So I've got Jaw heading up to the top lane. Jenkins was mid, but he's going to be heading up to the top as well. Leviathan will still get the bottom. Shibby's going to get the last hit there. And Jaw's going to get hook shotted in on by Tavo. Hook's going to come out from Pudge. And we're not going to lose Jaw. We are actually. He's going to commit suicide with the Nightmare. But Jenkins is going to get the kill onto Tavo as they try to chase down the Tusk. And they're going to get a hook shot on him. So that's going to be a dead Tusk. But Cat came in from the side with a huge Winter's Curse. That's going to get his team a double, count it a triple. As Jenkins is going to go down, but he commits suicide with a rot.
Structures are fortified.
But great team fight there. It was looking. It was a great initiation from Tavo. Is a better kind of counter initiation coming up from Leviathan. But then Leviathan maybe just went a little bit too far, and paiN sensed that maybe that was a bad situation. Cat made a really great play coming in from the side here. Huge Winter's Curse and just completely turned the fight around. And paiN comes out ahead in that team fight. This has been a great game so far. Lots of action. We get to see a Pudge. And I have a feeling that the game isn't really going to slow down too much. As expect to see a lot of action going forward. Quickly cycling through the heroes here. See if we've got anything new and interesting getting picked up. Nusham going the typical gyro build. We got Shibby's also picked up. He's picked up drums, so we've got 2 sets of drums on the side of Leviathan. But yeah, just as arcanes. Talk about the Pudge. He's up to 1,700 gold, almost 1,800 gold. So Blink Dagger is going to be coming out soon for him. So I imagine that's what Jenkins is saving for. Take a look at our Dire side. We're going to have Blade Mail finished by Tavo on the Clockwork. We've got Tranquils and Soul Ring for the Winter Wyvern. Tusk just picked up his Arcanes, and he's already got an urn. The Jug finished his Battle Fury, which we were waiting for that to finish, but he got that finished now. He's got Phase as well, and Aquila. And now Pepita's the last hero, who's got Point Booster and an Ogre Club, and they're 1,100 gold as well, so about 900 away from completing the Aghanim Scepter for the Queen of paiN.
Dire's middle tower.
A lot of heroes here from paiN grouping up. They might come down here into the Radiant Jungle and try to get a pick off. They know the gyro's there, but they've also seen the rotation from Flying Zebra as he's moved away from the bottom lane. And they should know that this gyro's safe by himself. And Nusham, as soon as he sees that Queen of paiN,
Dire's top tower
hides in the trees, pings himself out, and then we see a TP coming in from Jenkins. They also had a Flying Zebra rotate back down in here. And now Jaw rotating as well. But those rotations back were after this Observer Ward went down. So paiN not able to spot those out. But the flare, although it didn't land on those targets, it flew down here somewhere. It flew over them, so they actually had vision of them. So paiN moving away from bottom. We got a haste bottled up on Shibby here.
Boom! There it goes.
As paiN's gonna smoke up.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They're gonna look for a kill here in the top lane, and there aren't any Leviathan heroes there just yet, but Shibby is starting to make his way up there. Jenkins just picking up his Blink Dagger, but he's all the way in the bottom lane. TP coming in from Nusham as both heroes that you want to be farming are now in the same lane. A little bit weird for Nusham to TP in there.
Haste.
But now Shibby will, oh, I was thinking he was going to leave. He is spotted by this flare. As the vision from it just was beginning to dissipate there. Now they're going to push up through the bottom, and great wards again from paiN. Spotting these rotations out. And look at this. Shibby shows in the bottom lane, and they thought maybe it's a potential to go on Shibby here. Let's take the sigil and let's run it through the jungle here. And what do they find? They find a Pudge. So they know, okay, Pudge is here. Maybe we don't go for this kill. I don't think it would have been a very successful kill gank anyways, because Leviathan's got this observer ward to spot them coming down the lane to gank someone like the Tiny in that situation. It was mainly to protect the gyro earlier on, but still stands true when it's a different hero down there, not just the gyro. So we've seen a lot of action, but now we're seeing a lot of great wards. And the teams are making good rotations, but the wards are already there. And this is the support from either team, recognizing the kind of movements that are going to be happening a couple minutes from now. Because these observer wards, like this one's about to expire. This one is about to expire. These are observer wards that have been placed a while ago because they knew the value of them going a little bit later in the game. Let's look at this. Flying Zebra making his way up here to meet up with Ja. And as they were going up, they actually pinged this out. They said, this is probably warded based on our last rotation. And now they've just kind of put themselves in a situation that's not really preferable. And now the two supports are trying to get something done, but they're just going to get run over by some of the heroes here on the side of paiN, as both of them are going to go down.
Never will you see my face.
And it gets pinged out again by Flying Zebra. He said, this is warded. Like, we can't be making that play. They knew, and that observer ward pays off again. But just the value of some of these wards are one of those things in Dota that just kind of goes unnoticed most of the time. But we're seeing this game's a perfect example of what great warding can do and how important those wards are. And I hope I've been able to kind of at least demonstrate at different times which wards are leading to some of these ganks happening or not happening as a result. Because we've been seeing a lot of rotations, and yeah, the game's slowed down a little bit. We've got 23 kills in 23 minutes, so still a kill a minute, but it has slowed down. The pace has slowed down. It's been, apart from those two heroes dying up there, we haven't really seen a kill in too recently, I don't think. I'm trying to think of what was the most recent kill prior to those. But there's been a lot of great rotations, but they've all been spotted out by observer wards. And that's kind of the value of using your smokes. But both teams have used a lot of smokes early on. We're going to see them use another one, but this one's going to be to move into Roche Pit. Cat's is going to stand out front. Tavo's going to be hanging out in the mid lane. And now is Leviathan going to know what's going on here? Well, they're going to start moving up into the dire jungle. At least that's what the pings were, but instead they're going to back away. But 40R continues to sit in Roche Pit, soloing him.
I will not forget this.
Leviathan's still kind of grouped up in the mid lane. Oh, they're going to find a target. It's going to be Pepita. They're going to hook him in and dismember him. And great hook there coming out from Jenkins, but this Roche still goes uncontested. And 40R is going to pick up that Aegis, and he's going to TP away. But that was the Queen of paiN who was kind of rotating and messing around in here. And this observer ward spotted. It's getting pinged out by a different observer right now. But yeah, it got spotted. That Queen of paiN got spotted. Jenkins just kind of blinked down into the river here and got a good hook on that Queen of paiN.
Players here.
Well, the roaming ganking trio have now made their way to bottom. I want to... Oh. Okay, just outside the range. I want to point out some of the sentries that are now coming out. So Flying Zebra, he's been pinging out. He said there's an observer ward here. It just spotted us, and definitely when he made his way up there, they knew that there had to have been an observer ward. So they go up there and they sentry to counter it, but it had just expired. And then there's a sentry placed down here in the bottom lane, because paiN, from a different rotation, they had known that there's vision down here somewhere. So they dropped that sentry. The ward was over here. It had just expired by the time the sentry went down as well. And it would have been out of range from catching it anyways. But we're actually going to see Leviathan go with that ward again.
Jackpot.
Both teams recognizing where the vision most likely is, but just being a little bit off both the timing and potential positioning of their sentry wards. And Jenkins blinks on top of Pepita, but not able to get the Dismember off before Pepita blinks away, and then he pops the haste. Now Jenkins in a man fight with Tavo. There was some outside sources there helping out, as the Clockwork's going to be the first one to go down. There's the Jenkins Dismember onto Pico, but then he actually just blinks away. Now 40R will find Jenkins, but Jenkins TP's out. And surprisingly, will only lose one hero in that whole fight, and it's going to be Tavo on the Clockwork. Well, paiN, they've spotted this ancient stack, and that's a lot of gold for 40R. And now Leviathan coming in to defend it. They're going to get a stun toss on the 2, as 40R and Pico both drop down to about half HP. Ja is going to go down as our first casualty, but Cat's going to go down as well. 40R now spinning onto Shibby. That's a dead Tiny. As paiN begins to start winning this team fight, as the Queen of paiN and the Pudge kind of trade lives there. And Rocket Flare flying in, it will kill the Skywrath that was trapped in the trees. So 4 for 2 in favor of paiN Gaming, as they get about a 1,300 gold lead as a result of that. You can see some of the big damage dealers in the fight. Obviously the Queen of paiN having a huge impact early on. The Juggernaut spin did a lot of damage. And on the side of Radiant, look who was doing the majority of the damage. It was the Pudge. So you don't really expect a Pudge to be doing that much damage. You expect a Jug and a Tiny to be doing a lot more. Or sorry, the Gyros. Excuse me, the Gyro and the Tiny to be doing a lot more than a Pudge in the team fight, but they were both kind of not really in prime positions. They were kind of forced to go into a more defensive situation, as we saw the Tiny open with a Blink Avatos on 2 targets. But that was probably almost all the damage that he did in that fight, and then it was just him kind of chasing targets. And Jenkins was there with he must have been rotting multiple targets, but he got a couple hooks off. He got a Dismember off in the fight. That's a lot of damage. 5-man smoke gank coming out from paiN. We'll toss a flare down here. It does spot out Nusham, as the Gyrocopter's in trouble. As Ja will TP on out. The Ice Shards will find him, but he does get the TP off in time. So the Gyro will be the only hero to go down here.
Is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
As paiN will take a tower. Is there any smokes left? It says there's one left. What about the Radiant side? It also says there's one left. I'm not sure if that's 100% accurate. It's actually, yeah, it says there's one observer ward left for either side, so I don't think it's displaying properly. Yeah, both teams have been using a lot of smoke, so I wouldn't be surprised if
Radiant's bottom tower is under
both
attack.
are almost out of their smokes. Let's quickly look at our gold graph and see who's ahead, and it is paiN Gaming, just barely over 4,000 gold ahead of Team Leviathan. XP just under 3,000 XP in favor of paiN. So paiN slightly ahead right now. It's actually, as it updates, it's now 5,000 gold ahead. And just over 3,000 gold. So paiN a little bit more ahead than we just thought there. But still, this game very, very close. 15-17 in favor of paiN. His jaw was kind of trapped in the trees there, but
Dire's
Jenkins there
bottom
hooks a
tower is
brother,
under attack.
saves him,
Dire's
and then
structures
the
are
4-staff came out
fortified.
there. And speaking of 4-staffs, let's go over all our heroes and see who's got what. Because we've got a gem being held by Flying Zebra. He's working, he's picked up a staff of wizardry. Not sure what that could be building into. It could be Rod of Atos, which is quite popular on Skyrath mages. It could be 4-staff. I don't think it'll be a Yule Scepter. I don't think it'll be an Aghanim Scepter. I think it'll be one of those two. 4-staff's a pretty good pickup. So it might be that. I think that'll probably be the best, most worthwhile. There we go. Took a couple attempts there, but we learned how to speak English. Yeah, I think that'll be the most valuable. It's very good against the Clockwork. It's also good against the Tusk if someone gets trapped by Ice Shards. But moving on from there, we've got the Tiny, as he's got his Aghanims and his Blink Dagger. His drums are down to 1 charge, but he's got 3,200 gold on hand. Gyrocopter, his drums sitting at 4 charges. He's got Phase, SNY, and an Ogre Club. Is Jenkins actually dying in the mid lane? Unfortunately missing that on the camera for you guys. But baiN, he's got the Arcanes and the Magic Wand, but not much for him. Jenkins on that Pudge got Blink, Force, and Tranquils. Move on to the Dire side. Cat's got Blink, Soul Ring, and Tranquils. Pizza, he's got the Aghanims and the BKB. It's a fresh BKB sitting on 10 seconds.
Dire's top tower
The Tusk has Arcanes, Mech, and Urn. Probably going to pick up his GG boost fairly soon here, as we're going to see action in the top lane. It's going to be Tavo trading with the Gyrocopter. Shibi's going to toss a creep in to finish the job off. Avalanche going to come out. So unfortunately, going to cost Tiny his life as well. So Shibi comes in for that toss to get the kill on the Clockwork, but he goes down, and Leviathan loses their 2 big cores. It's once again a little unusual that you see the 2 cores off together somewhere on the map, and they didn't have any other supports near them. But we just covered our Tusk, so let's cover the Jug. And there we go, the GG boots getting picked up by Tusk, so he's going to have Guardian Greaves now.
Radiant's middle tower
Jug, he's got a whole lot of items. Phase, Blink, Battle Fury, Manta, and now he's got Bash. So he's got the Skull Basher. And the last hero we didn't cover was Tavo. On the Clockwork, he's got Force, Blade Mail, and he's working towards an Aghanims, as he's about halfway there. Nusham now just picking up a BKB. And paiN, with the taking of this mid-tier 2, just moves ahead by 1 tower. So all the tier 1s in the game are down, and that was the first tier 2 to go down.
Illusion.
Here comes another smoke gang, because Leviathan moves out on the map. And where are they going? They're going right into the Dire jungle. They drew on the map that they were, I'll see someone else drawing it now, that they were going to do kind of a play like that, kind of moving through the Dire jungle. Now they're going to look for heroes up here. Nope, not going to happen.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They're all grouped up down by their ancients near the bottom lane. And they're playing it safe. Now Jenkins just shows in the top with that observer ward, but there's already creeps up here anyways. And paiN gonna go for another Roche. Look at the vision from, I'm actually gonna switch over to paiN's vision right now. This observer ward spots any kind of movement making its way down the lane in the top. This spots a lot of movement anywhere near moving out of mid, but this also helped protect them while they were trying to take that tier 2. And this ward, I'm not a big fan of this ward, but yeah, it spots a lot of these rotations, like as they start moving away from the mid. You want to Jug getting the Aegis, but you want your wards to really spot any kind of traffic leaving the Radiant base. And if you can spot where they're moving as they leave kind of mid lane, this is probably the most important one. That's why you see this ward kind of does similar effectiveness, but this one's like ideal because it spots everything that this ward does, and even more as you're moving down here. It even spots the movements as you kind of go up there.
Dire's middle tower
But if you got vision like that, then you know the directions where heroes are heading on the map, and you know
Radiant's bottom tower
where's going to be safe and where isn't, and you can help set up games.
I will not forget this.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Jenkins going to go for the hook there. It's not going to land. Hits the creep
Dire's
instead.
top tower is under attack.
This paiN, they've got this Aegis, and they feel perfectly fine to go for this tier 3. As Tavo's going to hook shot in, he's going to get slept, and now he's going to get hooked back. Now Ice Shard's going to separate everyone. As you see a couple skills getting flinged from either side, but the tier 3's going down. Nothing stopped this Jug. So he continues to smack away at Rax as Jenkins blinks into the trees there and gets a hook off onto Tavo. Sorry, I can't move any lower here to get you a better vision of what's going on down here. But Jenkins and Tavo both going at it, both very, very low, but Tavo's going to win on it out of that trade. We lost the gyrocopter as well, and now we're going to have some buybacks as both the Pudge and the baiN are going to buy back. And Jenkins goes for the blink hook, but 40R is there with the Manta. And he gets an illusion instead, and then Jenkins jumps in and dismembers. And yes, he knew that was an illusion. He knew that the real Jug had backed away, but he was doing it because this is a ranged Rax. So there... Oh, Shibby was going for a trade there. But that was a range Rax, so basically what he was trying to do was make sure that the range Rax took as little damage as possible, because if they lost that range Rax, that would help with the pushing in the lane. And you definitely don't want that, but trying to keep that range Rax up. But there was a trade while all that fight was going down. That's why Shibby wasn't there, as he took the mid Rax. So yeah, we saw a lot of skills getting exchanged there, and a lot of it was actually just delaying because Shibby was pushing in the mid lane, but it did cost Leviathan a couple buybacks as they bought back on the baiN and the Pudge, and I don't think there was a single buyback on the side of paiN, but I could be wrong. No buyback from paiN. Is paiN gonna... Are they gonna keep going here? They still have Aegis. There's another 15 seconds on the Tiny. They're gonna go for this mid tier 3. Get some damage in. Well, hook is gonna land. This time it's gonna land on the Queen of paiN, and what the Quap did. What is paiN gonna do? Are they just gonna back away here? Oh, now they can't. Fiend's Grip coming out onto 40R, but Nusham gets hit with a Winter's Curse with that BKB popped, and hook coming out from Jenkins will bring 40R back in as he's gonna go down. Aegis is there though. He'll be back up in just a second. Cat almost dead, but he gets the Cold Embrace off on himself as 40R revives and blinks down to the low ground, but Jenkins with the hook will land on 40R, but now 40R pops the BKB, gets some right clicks off onto Jenkins. First one will actually bash him, and now, oh my goodness, the Omni Slash. Gonna get a triple for him, and he's looking for an Ultra as he's going after Nusham. Not gonna be able to finish him off, but Tavo is there with the hook shot and brings 40R into position as 40R blinks actually. And that gets him the kill, and then he spins on top of Shibby, and Shibby tosses the Juggernaut away, but not in time, and it's going to be a rampage for 40R, and then the GG well plays will come out. Shibby did buy back, but paiN, they take the game and the series, so 2-0 in favor of paiN Gaming. As both these teams will advance out of Group B, but we now know that paiN will finish first in the group and Leviathan will finish second. And that was a very entertaining game. I'm glad we got to watch and cast that, as there was a lot of action early on, and then I always like when a game can kind of create this perfect frame around how important warding can be, because that's one of the things that just goes over most people's head when they're watching a competitive game, and it's rarely talked about in pro play. But we saw this game just how important wards can be at times, and a lot of that is just because there's a Pudge in the game. Pudge creates these situations where ward vision is so important. So this was a great game to kind of create that stage where we can see just how important wards can be. And those wards are just as effective in other games, but when there's a game with Pudge and all of a sudden you have hooks, it creates this really interesting situation. So I'm glad we got to cast that. We got a lot of kills, and it was a great game. And paiN Gaming took it in the end, and they win the series, so 2-0 for them. And that's going to be it for our cast tonight. As our next cast will be on Sunday, where we'll be casting the Semi-Pro Cup Series again. But in terms of when we'll be back with Dota 2, with the Dota 2 Canada Cup, that will be on December 15th. And we'll be starting at 7:30, or at least that's what the schedule is right now. It might change. And if it does, I'll let you guys know. But for now, at least, that is the scheduled start time. And that'll be Group D, and that'll have Brax's new team, the Yarobi Disciples, I guess. It's Brax +4 is what it's referred to as. So they'll be in the group. Boreal will be in the group, Not Today, and Dialcom. So that's looking like it's going to be a good group as well. Group D, maybe the group of death. We'll see. But that'll start on December 15th, and we'll close it on December 16th. And then we'll cover Group C on the 17th and the 18th. But that's a little ways out, so we'll have to wait before we get any more Dota 2 Canada Cup action. But I will be casting again on Sunday. So that is that's the 13th. So I'll see you guys then, but that's going to wrap it up for me tonight. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you do hit that follow button if you are enjoying the cast, so you can tune in when I am casting those other games. Beyond that, the VODs of everything I cast will go up on YouTube. Having a little issue with one of the games, the final game from last night's cast. It keeps failing the upload. I'm not sure why, but I'm giving it another go right now. So hopefully that'll go through and it won't fail again. But I'm trying to get it up, and little lewd there. I'm trying to get the VOD uploaded, and I'll get the VODs from tonight's matches uploaded as well. So you can check those out on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/NizCast. And beyond that, I tweet about whenever I'm going live on Twitter. At NizCast is my handle there. So that's where you can find me on social media. But yeah, until Sunday, I'm out. Hopefully you guys will enjoy your night, and hopefully you won't minus 25 too much if you're playing some Dota tonight. Hopefully it's just plus 25s. But that's it for me. Have a good one, everyone. Thanks for watching.